The California Zephyr, the most scenic train ride in the country, from the San Francisco Bay to the rising towers of Chicago and everywhere in between. We will be eating and sleeping aboard this train for the next 3 days and 2 nights, so climb aboard and let's see everything it has to offer. Our adventure begins at the Emeryville train station. It's a little smaller than where most long-distance trains starts, but it's still a beautiful station. There's a check-in counter where you can check your luggage, plenty of seating, bathrooms, as well as a small cafe. The only downside to the cafe is it's cash only, so make sure to bring some cash with you if you want a nice warm treat on a cold day like today. We head to the platform and wait for our train to arrive, and that's not it. It turns out our train is actually going to be a little bit delayed today, as the email that I got indicates. It says it's going to be 20 minutes late, so we'll just stay out here on the platform. It should be here in about 5 minutes or so. Or so I thought. 8:40 comes and goes, and it's almost 9 o'clock. Where is our train? Well, soon Amtrak personnel let us know that our train is in fact arriving, so we all get ready. They line us up on the platform according to our accommodation. Sleepers in the front, and coach passengers in the rear. That's how the California Zephyr is set up. Your train may differ. As the train pulls in, we get ready to head to our room, so let's climb aboard this train. As we head to our room, we are in a Roomette today, the most popular sleeping accommodation on Amtrak. As you can see, it is plenty spacious, but it does get a little bit tight if there are 2 people. It's only me today, but we'll come back and take a little tour here in a little while. We head to the Sightseer Lounge car and settle in to watch some of the views as we leave San Francisco. The first thing we pass is the San Pablo Bay. Soon we hit the Zampa Memorial Bridge, and the views just keep on getting better. It might be a little cloudy out today, but I think it's still an absolutely beautiful ride. Speaking of the Sightseer Lounge car, let's take a closer look at what it looks like. Here you can see the floor plan with the observation area, lounge area, and the table seating on one side. It is always amazing to head to the lounge car, but keep in mind it does fill up fast and there are no reserved seats. It is open to everyone, whether you are a coach or a sleeper passenger. We will definitely get a lot of use out of this car here in a little bit because this car is where all of the views come to life. We start heading up into the Sierra Nevada mountains. The stunning views and beautiful scenery just keep getting better and better. We're out of sunny, beautiful, warm California and into the snowy mountains. Just look at all the snow on the ground. And it gets deeper and deeper. Now that we're deep into the Sierra Nevada mountains and out of San Francisco, it's about time for lunch. Lunch is amazing on these trains, and there are plenty of different options no matter your diet. Of course, if none of these options suit you, you can bring your own food, but keep in mind Amtrak cannot warm it up for you. For lunch today, I decided to go with one of the new items, the grilled patty melt. It was delicious. After lunch, we head back to the lounge car and we look down below us and see the highway. I'm sure glad I'm not driving in any of this. Taking the train is definitely the way to go. You get all of the beautiful views that you could see while driving with none of the stress. If you have the opportunity, I always recommend heading to the back of the train to look at the rails disappear behind you. Especially in the snow-covered mountains of the Sierra Nevadas, it is a stunning view that you just cannot get anywhere else. But that's enough of that, let's head back to our room. Heading back, we can see that the lounge car is absolutely full. And with views like this, you definitely can't blame them. One of the best things about the lounge is the windows above you, so don't forget to look up. Looking out is amazing, but looking up into the sky and at the tops of the mountains is even better. Soon, we hit Truckee, California. That means it's about the beginning of the end of the snow. Truckee still gets a lot of snow, but is where we start our descent into Nevada. As we leave Truckee, we can see the snow fighting equipment that's normally parked up here, including some of the spreaders and plows. Remember how I said we'd come back to our room? Let's go take a tour of it. This is your standard Amtrak Roomette in a superliner. You have a table that'll help you get some work done or even have a little snack, but as you can see, ours was not level at all. This is a very common problem in these rooms, so be prepared to not have a level table. You do have a chess or checkerboard if you bring your own pieces, and putting it away after you're done with everything, nice and easy. Hey look, another floor plan! So, looking at the floor plan here, you can see roomettes are by far the most popular and most plentiful option. Of course, you have a door with a lock. This lock is only able to operate from the inside, so make sure to bring all valuables or hide all valuables if you plan on walking around the train. Up top you have your lights as well as your air vent, although you do not get a whole lot of airflow. You also have some washcloths and a small hanging area. This hanging area means we are in a superliner 2. Superliner 1s have a closet in this location, as you can see in this really quick overview, but there's really not much more of a difference. If you want me to cover all the differences between the Superliner 1 and 2, as well as the different room types, let me know down below. Speaking of down below, let's head downstairs and take a look at the lower level of the Superliner car. As soon as we get to the bottom of the stairs, you can see a luggage area. This is where you can store things that you don't want to keep in your room, because it's pretty tight in there. Heading over to the other side, we have the bathrooms and the shower. There are 3 different bathrooms and 1 shower and changing room per car. All of the bathrooms are pretty standard, and there is even one upstairs as well. Across the hall is where you will find your shower as well as your changing room. The changing area has a lot more space than your room does, especially in the nighttime configuration, which we'll see soon. It's also really handy once you get out of the shower. Separating the two is a nice frosted glass door with some Amtrak artwork on it. Let's take a look at the shower itself. The shower itself is pretty basic, with just about everything you need. A button for water as well as temperature control. The shower head up top is removable, so if you need to get into other places, you absolutely can. There's an area for your soap, but keep in mind some people don't like to clean up after themselves, so always be courteous and clean up after yourself. All the snow is gone, the temperatures have warmed up significantly as the elevation has dropped. We have now entered the desert. Reno, Nevada is a fresh air stop, meaning you can get off the train, stretch your legs, and enjoy solid ground instead of the rocking and rolling that the train does. Reno is a big stop though, so keep in mind the platform will be crowded. But it also gives us an opportunity to look at our train today and see what makes it up. We've got 4 locomotives today, but only 2 are doing the work. In the lead is number 5, followed by 170. 369 and 368 here are being towed to Chicago as they are fresh out of the factory from California. Then we have our baggage car. This is where all of your checked baggage will stay. There is no access to this car while the train's in motion. Next we have our 3 sleeper cars. We're in the second one today. After that you have your dining car as well as your observation car. This is the car that we've been spending a lot of time in. At the back of the train is our 2 coaches. Reno was an amazing stop, and it was really nice getting out to stretch our legs. So let's take a look at the dinner menu now and see what we're going to have for dinner. Dinner on Amtrak comes with an appetizer, entree, and dessert, as well as 1 free alcoholic beverage. I decided to go with the salad and the pasta primavera, so let's see what those looked like. Finishing up was the chocolate cake. Oh, it was so good. As you can see, it is very shaky in the dining car. It's not like eating at a restaurant. After dinner, we decided to head back to the lounge car and relax for a little while. It is really emptied out. Now, something to know, during the night, most of the crew is asleep. There will be a few crew members that are awake in the dining car as well as the lounge car. So if you have an emergency or need to talk to the crew, head to the lounge car or the dining car in order to talk to the conductor or any crew that might be awake. This is where you'll find them. Now it's time to head to bed, so let's make our bed. Normally your car attendant will do this for you, but I asked them to let me do it just so I can show you. There are also instructions on the tray table if you need them. The first step is to lay the bed flat. The bottom bunk is made out of the 2 chairs that you sit on during the daytime configuration. You can recline them as far as you can, then step on the pedal that says push for bed, push the back of the chair down, and it'll lay flat. Once you do this to the other side, you can see that there is not much room left, so that dressing room will come in handy, or you can get changed into your pajamas before then. The top bunk comes down from the top, and that is where you will find all of the bedding, blankets, and pillows. Your blankets will be wrapped in plastic, and your bedding will be folded up. We're going to sleep on the bottom bunk, so we'll fold the top out of the way. We took our mattress pad out as well as the pillows and blankets and laid them all on the bottom. It's pretty comfortable, but don't expect a 5-star mattress. You are traveling on a train. You do only have one outlet for the entire room, so that is something to keep in mind. A power strip is going to be your friend. So make sure if you have multiple devices to charge, bring a power strip with you. I also recommend bringing a pillow, as the Amtrak pillows are very soft but not very supportive. So I brought a nice firm one with me and then used the soft Amtrak pillow on top. Eye masks and earplugs will be your friend. The hall lights stay on in the sleepers, so it can be a little bright because the curtains don't block everything out. And on that note, it's time to hit the hay, so I'll see you in the morning. Morning of day 2 comes, and remember how we were almost an hour late yesterday? Well, that's not a problem anymore. We made up all of that time throughout the night. The Amtrak schedule does allow for extra time, but it might not always work, so always plan extra time on Amtrak. We head to the diner for breakfast first thing in the morning. I decided to go with the 3-egg omelet. It is an absolutely amazing choice. Speaking of breakfast, a lot of people want their coffee, and for sleeper cars, you have free coffee available in the middle of the coach. Always put a lid on whenever you get coffee. The train can move about unexpectedly, and we don't want you getting burnt. Sugar and creamer can usually be found very close by. We head back to our room, which has been put back into the daytime configuration by our car attendant. Again, you can do this yourself if you want, and directions are on the back of the tray table. We've been sitting on the siding for a little while, but I sure don't mind. Look at this view. Utah and Colorado are absolutely stunning, and this looks like a painting. Unfortunately, the reason for our stop soon became obvious. It turns out that there was a medical emergency on board the train. We were assured that everybody's okay, and I sure hope they were. But this just goes to show that anything can happen on Amtrak, so always plan extra time. After the EMT crew did what they have to do, we were back underway. Rolling through the beautiful scenery of Utah, it is impossible to convey into words or through video just how beautiful this is. I learned a very valuable lesson on pinch points. Luckily, it was only a watch charger that I had lost, so always be mindful of where you put your stuff down. I lowered the upper bunk to grab a pillow and a blanket just to have a little nap during the mid-morning and crushed my charger. It's things like this that you won't find anywhere else, so make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff. As the Grand Mesa comes into view, it means we are entering Colorado. Grand Junction, here we come. It's time to head to the Sightseer Lounge Car and find our seats because the most beautiful scenery is right around the corner. Speaking of the lounge car, there's one more trick it has up its sleeve that I haven't shown you yet, so let's go look at that. The lounge car is also the snack car. If you go downstairs, you can find a selection of snacks and drinks available most of the day and some of the night. Always listen for the announcements for when it opens and closes. Let's take a look at what a typical long-distance menu looks like. Given the fact that you do not have any other options, the pricing's actually pretty decent. Grand Junction, Colorado. Another fresh air stop, and the first one for today. Again, always get off the train when you can and enjoy the beautiful fresh air and stretch your legs on some solid ground. As we leave Grand Junction, you can see the old depot that was built in 1906 for the Rio Grande Railroad. It was used until 1992 when it fell into disrepair and the station next to it became the main depot. If you have any interest in helping the project of restoring this depot, you can visit their website at savethisdepot.org. A hand-painted mural sends us off to the river to begin our climb all the way to the Continental Divide. We'll be along the river for a majority of the time, so make sure to find a good spot until lunch. But soon, lunchtime comes, and it's time for us to enjoy another Amtrak meal. One of the best things about eating on Amtrak is the views. See, there is nowhere else where you can eat lunch and enjoy views of the country rolling past you. For lunch today, I decided to go with the grilled cheese, and it was pretty subpar. After lunch, we head back to the lounge car and find our seats for the rest of the day. We are about to enter Glenwood Canyon. A lot of people say that the best views are on the riverside, but with the windows above you, both sides are just as beautiful. So make sure to find your seat early. Leaving Glenwood Springs, we will be following I-70 all the way till the Dot Cerro cutoff. Then we will leave Glenwood Canyon and enter Gore Canyon. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful Colorado scenery pass by us in the Sightseer Lounge Car. After all that beautiful scenery, we pull into Fraser Winter Park, yet another fresh air stop. There's a lot of these in Colorado. We enjoy the beautiful mountain air and say hello to some of the new friends that we made along the way.
Hello, friends!
Subscribe, please.
Let's go!
Subscribe to this guy.
Right, we're here in Winter Park, and it is beautiful. It's only about 20, I don't know, it feels like about 26.
As we leave Fraser, we approach the Winter Park Ski Resort. The California Zephyr doesn't stop here, but there is a train that does. If you want to learn more about the Winter Park Express, also known as the ski train, click the link in the upper right hand corner. It was an absolutely beautiful day going to ski in these beautiful mountains. Now that we're passing the ski resort, we are approaching Moffat Tunnel. Moffat Tunnel is 6.2 miles long and was opened in 1928. It is the quickest and most direct route underneath the Continental Divide. Prior to this, you had to go over Rollins Pass, which went to 11,600 feet in elevation and was 23 miles long. It was a long, rugged route that was closed a lot due to snow, but instead of taking hours to cross, we go through the Moffat Tunnel, which only takes 10 minutes. Moffat Tunnel is also the highest point on the Amtrak network at 9,239 feet. Through movie magic, we're through it in just moments. As we descend down into Denver, we decide to get some dinner. It's our last meal, being as we're detraining in Denver. I went with a salad and the signature flat iron steak. The blueberry cobbler cheesecake was an absolutely perfect way to end this trip. We back into Denver, which means it is time to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot about the California Zephyr. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to come back next month where we take a ride on the Southwest Chief, from Colorado all the way to beautiful Los Angeles. I hope you come back, and until then, I can't wait for another epic adventure with you on the rails.